Building an AI agent these days, not that hard. But getting it to work reliably in production is a different story. Unlike traditional code, LLMs don't behave the same way every time. And when something goes wrong, your agent doesn't crash with a clear error. It wanders. Your logs might show you what happened, but they won't explain why. Was it a bad prompt? A hallucination? A tool call that timed out? This is what's known as the observability gap. You can see inputs and outputs, but everything in between is a black box. LangSmith closes that gap. It lets you trace every step your agent takes, every decision, every call, so you can pinpoint exactly where things went wrong. So, in this tutorial, we'll set up LangSmith from scratch, run some code, and see how tracing works under the hood. If you are building agentic systems, this video shows you how easy it is to get clear tracing and observability with LangSmith. Let's get into it. First, let's head to the LangSmith website and get set up. Here's the LangSmith landing page. It's the platform for agent engineering. LangSmith helps you observe, evaluate, and deploy agents. Let's sign up using Google to get started quickly. I'm just going to click on my Google profile and continue the sign up process. Now we choose between two paths, technical and non-technical. I will go with technical. Now, we're going with observability since we'll be running code examples. They also provide a non-technical option for no-code engineers called Fleet, and is a great way to get hands-on usage for any cases. Let me select observability. Now we are at the main dashboard. We can check the application's insider LangSmith on the top left corner. Currently, we only have one by default. And there are other features that LangSmith provides. These are tracing, monitoring, datasets, prompts, deployment, and so on. And in the main section, you can see get a quick start with tracing, debug, and many other features. Let's get started with tracing. LangSmith supports multiple frameworks in tracing, LangChain, OpenAI Agent SDK, and also the Versal AI SDK. You can instrument your code regardless of which stack you're using. For our demo, we'll use LangChain, which is a part of LangSmith ecosystem. It supports both in Python and TypeScript. Let's stick with Python for this walkthrough. Installation is straightforward. Just use this pip command and you are ready. You'll need to configure a few environment variables and install dependency like this. For our example, we have created a joke bot that will invoke with a message, and LangSmith will automatically capture the entire context for the joke generation. To make this work, we need an API key. Let's generate one now. They also have provided an example below that you can use and test for yourself. Click Generate API Key. There it is, your personal API key. Copy this key. We'll use it in our environment setup to authenticate our code. Now, we're ready to run our first traced LLM call and see the observability magic happen in LangSmith. Let's look under the hood at how we enable this observability. It all starts with environment management. We are also setting our LangSmith tracing related variables. When we load these, we will get automatic traceability on LangSmith. Now, let's see the main code script. Here we load our environment variables. When we initialize our OpenAI client, everything is automatically captured. Here's the jokebot function. It takes a topic, sends it to the model, and returns the response. Every step of this is traced by LangSmith. It's really as simple as that. We don't need to write any extra code to achieve observability. Just set up the environment variables needed by LangSmith, and the rest takes care of itself. Now let's get our environment ready. We'll run a quick pip install for the required packages. With everything set up, let's run the application. Watch the terminal as the joke is generated and the trace is sent instantly to LangSmith. Now let's head over to LangSmith and see the tracing. Now that we've run our code and generated some traces, let's explore the observability features in LangSmith. We are in the main screen, and you can see a trace is already tracked here in the bottom section. You can get a quick overview of your tracings and understand what is going on. First, let's head over to the tracing section. This is the main tracing dashboard for our project runs. You can see all of our recent trace details displayed in a clean tabular format with all the necessary overview. You can see columns for input, output, latency, tokens, and cost. Let me click on a trace to show you what's inside. Perfect. Yeah, you can see that we have 4 separate LLM calls in this run. Each one shows the input that was sent, the output that came back, and the metadata per call. This is going to give observability a new scale. Let me expand the trace to get a better view of the full execution and understand how the trace worked, including its full nature. This shows everything related to an inference. Let me switch to the waterfall view. For now, we have a simple LLM call, so we see only one component. You can see the full input on the right and the model's output, and all the metadata related to a particular execution, including endpoint, version, revision ID, and full details on platform, runtime, and SDK. You can get the full output for your view. If you prefer raw data, you can switch to JSON view and see everything in structured format. All right. Let me close this trace. Now here's a powerful feature, comparing runs. I'm going to select 2 different traces from this list and click Compare Runs. This opens a side-by-side comparison view. You can see the inputs, outputs, and metadata for both runs at once. This is incredibly useful for understanding why one run performed differently. Let's check another amazing feature in LangSmith, adding trace data as a dataset. This lets you build a collection of examples for testing. Let's name this dataset JokeBot. And now click on Create. Let's navigate to the dataset section to see what we just created. And there it is, our new dataset with the trace we added. LangSmith also provides powerful monitoring capabilities. Let's head to monitoring from the left panel. This lets you visualize everything regarding a particular inference. The dashboard is loading our metrics. Here we go. The first chart shows trace count over time. You can see this spike here. That's when we ran our example code. Below that is trace latency. Notice how some runs took longer than others. This helps you identify performance bottlenecks. And you can see other important metrics here too: latency, input tokens, output tokens, total LLM calls, token usage, all the data you need to monitor your application's health. This will literally help you understand your LLM better and how you can visualize any outliers and start solving them. You can even set up alerts to notify you in such situations. Let me show you how that works. I'll click Create Alert. First, we select which project to monitor. Let's call this alert Token Spent. You have several options for what to monitor. You can also add a webhook here. That means LangSmith will send a notification to services you've configured. You can see a preview of when this alert would have triggered. Let me switch to the errors alert metric. Here's feedback score. And latency, this is one of the most important performance metrics in LLM, which defines how our LLM responded and whether there was a delay in response. Nowadays, we talk about who performed the fastest without interruption. After clicking on Create Alert at the bottom, you will be able to create an alert for your tracings. Finally, your app is in the wild, but the work doesn't stop there. LangSmith's monitoring dashboard gives you a high-level view of your system's health. You can track latency spikes, success rates, and, most importantly, token costs in real time. If an agent starts looping and burning through credits, you'll see it here first. From your first prototype to a production system serving millions of users, LangSmith is the guardian of your LLM application. Stop guessing, start tracing. Thank you for watching.